I don't know why I can seem to remember to separate me from you. So I'm fine. These are the things I love and hate about the Eos R6 camera, and it starts right now. Hey, Sam here. Welcome to my channel. I am not your typical tutor. I'm a hobbyist who is interested in videography and film. So what I use and how I use it during the course of my journey here in this channel, I simply just share with you, hoping you can learn a thing or two from it. If that sounds like a cup of tea, you might consider subscribing to this channel and hit the bell notification so that you don't miss another update from me. I sincerely do hope you find value here though. Without any further ado, let's hit the road. I am going to start with what I hate with this camera. Hope you don't mind. I like to save the best for last, so stick around to the end of this video. This camera overheats and I hate that about it. Canon, why?
May I have your attention, please? An emergency has been reported in the building. While this is being verified,
I haven't been able to get 30 minutes of recording straight out of this camera without it overheating and mid-shoots. So for me, that drives me crazy. But stick around, it's just going to get better soon, okay? Talking about overheat with this camera, I'm exploring certain hacks that I think I want to apply. I'm going to be shooting a video very soon concerning that, so that you keep an eye open for it. The codec in which images and videos are captured in this camera makes it very hard for me to preview my images after shoot. It's just very burdensome. I cannot preview anything, so I often find myself having to import good, bad, and ugly. I'm having to import unusable footage into Premiere Pro because I cannot preview them. So that is not a good file management system in my opinion. I have also tried to use third-party software, but it just wasn't working the way it should work. If you have any solution about this for me, please hit me up in the comments. Thank you. Battery life. With this camera, the battery life is... What I'm trying to say is that the battery just dies out quickly, you know. I can also understand, because with all the wonderful things that this camera can do, you can understand why the battery life goes out so quickly. It's now starting to get better. Have you seen my palm? They are like that of a tall person. To make me feel good, I say I am the tallest of the short. Wherever I go, my palm and my fingers show up first before the rest of my body catches up. I'm just saying that I have long fingers. Even though this camera is compact and relatively small, especially when compared to the Canon 7D that I have rocked so much, you will instantly think that you're going to lose a grip on it. Even though I have long fingers, my grip on the R6 feels very good because of the simplistic ergonomics of this camera. The build and lightweight makes it easy to carry around. If you happen to travel a lot, this might just be that gadget friend you need in time of creative need. Woo!
hallelujah!
Another beautiful reason why I love the Eos R6 is the fact that it gives me the ability to record quality images that makes you want to like and subscribe to this channel. So just do it right now. So thank you. Another reason why I like the Eos R6 is the sensor. The sensor is large, and I like the fact that it's well protected from dust, because if you flip that thing open, it has like a shield and a covering for the sensor. I haven't used the 7D for so long. The sensor on the 7D is exposed. So were a lot of the Canon cameras before Eos R6 and this new line of Canon cameras. The amount of details it captures per time for every shoot I do, it's amazing. It allows for decent images and sharp enough for my creative need. You just need to see how easy it is to flip settings on this camera on the fly without any hassle. Every single button is completely accessible to me without getting confused. especially for how easy it is to switch from still picture mode to video mode. I love that about it. Storage. I am loving the double SD card slots like crazy because it allows for enough storage in it, especially when I'm having to explore the 4K resolution. And recently Canon released a new firmware that now allows me to record into both cards simultaneously, thereby increasing its ability to have a backup system for my storage. Up here, I'll link up a video that I made about that a few weeks ago for more details. I love the fact that I am able to shoot certain impossible angles without losing sight of what I am doing because of the LCD screen. I know a lot of people think that this screen is rather too small for them, but for my need, it is perfect because I can easily go low to the ground and take some shots that I ordinarily wouldn't be able to do using the 7D that I have rocked so much. Again, yes, I said that before. If you're the type that love to shoot low or impossible angles, you are going to love it for this single reason. Let's talk about IBIS. IBIS or IBIS or IBIS, in-body image stabilization. I simply just love how steady and smooth my shots have been since using this camera. Very dependable IBIS if you ask me. The 85mm lens that I use has no self-stabilization. I have been able to use that lens effectively to get decent shots, because of the in-body stabilization of the Eos R6. What camera do you use? Are you looking to buy the Eos R6 and why? Let's talk about it in the comments. I love it for its zero crop factor when using an adapter for EF lenses. What that does for me is that I'm able to use old EF lenses, knowing fully well that I cannot afford to buy the new RF lenses because they're a bit on the high side right now. I thought that it's going to experience that crop thing, especially when you're shooting in 4K. It does not seem to crop into the images. For me, I am so loving it about that. The video quality coming out from this camera is incredible. I can't imagine shooting 4K at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 120 frames per second. I just love it for that. Because I don't have a supercomputer yet to process the images that I churn out through this camera, I am able to just shoot 1080p and still have very sharp images, and I upscale it to 4K in post when I am done editing, and that is huge. Look at your iPad there, you can take it. I'm recording, okay? Bye, see you later. I have particularly enjoyed shooting under low light conditions with this camera because of its very vast ISO. I don't want to talk much about this because I know someone who did a very good job at it. So he did a test of all the ISO, link in the description. But here is a brief image of what I did on my own, because I noticed that even cranking up the ISO does not introduce noise in any way to your footage. This camera shines in the dark. Intuitive, incredible face and eye tracking with spot-on accuracy with this camera. You can never go wrong with that. The autofocus is right on point and can hit its target whenever it shifts from any current position to another position. Let's drink right there to the reason why I love this camera. Right there, bam. Take it up, bam, right back on my face. I know affordability is a relative term and holds different meaning for different people, right? But if you look critically into this camera, so much has been baked into it for the price. Reasonable for the things that this camera has allowed me to do, and I believe that a lot of people can agree with that. For this camera to be able to shoot 4K at 60 frames per second and do all other amazing things, I think it holds its ground in the scheme of things when it comes to creating content. The price is decent when you actually look at the things that this camera has allowed me to do and the things that it can allow you to do. I dare say that if you're a hobbyist, a vlogger, this camera has got you covered. If you are a professional who goes out striking deals with clients, this camera has you covered. Don't get me wrong, there are stages of quality when it comes to your deliverables, right? I understand that, but this camera can do a lot. Its footage cannot be compared to the likes of Arri and Red and the likes of them, but it is decent. This camera can do a good job when it comes to paid gigs. Then again, maybe I am just being biased because I love this camera. At least this camera. I'm not hooked to Canon, but I love this camera. It is a good deal, if you'll ask me. Hey, enough of the rant about the Eos R6. For me, creating content is about driving and delivering your message through your uniqueness and peculiarity. Cameras and gears and whatever you call it are just tools. So whatever it is you have in your hand, even if it's just a phone, as long as it has a camera attached to it, you can create content. You can drive your story, because at the end of the day, your story is unique and peculiar in a way that only you can speak to your audience in a manner that they will connect. Having said that, remember, the best time to create is now. Until another video, this is Sam and I am signing out. Peace.